have put in place all the required regulations for money lenders, non-deposit taking institutions, and SACCOs. In addition, we have now the self-help group guidelines in place to facilitate the registration, market conduct, and the reporting of the saving groups. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm privileged to note the progress in the Myoga program, where over 72 billion shillings has been mobilized as savings, courtesy of Myoga, and also 5,710 parish-based associations have been formed, and 6,664 SACCOs have also been formed, representing 48.4% women and 30 youth, 2.51 PWDs as beneficiaries. About the project for financial inclusion Profila, NRM government, with support from EFAT, designed a project for financial inclusion in rural areas to address the identified gaps and consolidate the achievements under the Rural Financial Services Program through, among other things, promoting savings groups and loan associations, as well as alternative outreach vehicle, particularly in the areas of where SACCOs were not performing well, most especially in northern Uganda. As you are aware, we have 10,594 parishes. So in every parish we shall have a SACCO, and we have already formed the SACCO, and we are extending 100 million shillings to every SACCO in Uganda. That means every parish will get 100 million shillings every financial year. The funds are for all lending to members and do projects and activities along the agricultural value chain at affordable interest rate, not exceeding 6% per annum. As at 11th November 2022, my ministry had disbursed 151 billion to the bank accounts of 6,051 compliant PDM SACCOs countrywide, with each PDM SACCO receiving 25 million for the start. That every quarter we are sending 25 million. And another 2,664 SACCOs are already in the process of receiving funds on their accounts before 30th November 2022. I would like to take this opportunity to assure the public that my ministry is working with the local governments to ensure that all outstanding issues are addressed, so that all SACCOs can have access to this planned fund. Other players in the microfinance industry include Government of Uganda, is also working with other agencies in fulfillment of its mandate to providing a favorable working environment to the development of the microfinance industry.
As you know, the microfinance sector is the biggest sector in the country. 80% of the population lives in rural areas. 70% of the population are in agriculture, and the NRM government is committed to socio-economic transformation. This transformation is led by the productive officers at the districts. But we all know that you cannot move much without money. So the government of Uganda has put in place various channels which it is availing funds to the ordinary people. The ordinary people are not banked. They cannot access loans in the financial institutions, the formal ones, and therefore there is need for an avenue to to address poverty in our midst through channels that are soft to the ordinary people. When you ask an ordinary person to borrow money at 20%, which is the bank rate, they definitely can't pay it back. They don't even understand it. So I'd like to pay tribute to His Excellency the President for the parish development model, which we hope will be able to stimulate production in the different parts of the country, to be able to cause increase in production in different parts of the country. But this cannot be done without the money. So I'd like to thank the Minister of Finance, the Minister for Microfinance. Thank you, sir, for this effort that is leading to Ugandans being able to access funds. As you know, we say in business that finance, money, is the lifeblood of the organization. There is nothing that you do that is never expressed in terms of money. And we'd like to appeal to the people who are receiving these funds to use them in such a way that we can transform society. We can keep up to the NRM principle of socio-economic development through the household and improving the output in the household.
So the overall goal of this environment that is conducive for the microfinance institutions to operate is so that the microfinance customer is served diligently and professionally, and that their livelihoods actually get improved because they have had access to finance. So we like to thank government for the amendment of the MDI Act that had taken long, and that will go a long way in ensuring that the MDIs are able to serve more people. We thank you for the establishment of the Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority that provides more sanity in the operations of the Tier 4, and so many other things that we have done together with government. We want to also let you know that within the AMFU membership, the current outstanding amount that has been given to the lowest of the pyramid in this country amounts to 1.9 trillion Uganda shillings that has been so far disbursed within the members of AMFU to the microfinance customers, and this has also reached over 2.7 million people. And we think that if there is more collaboration between government and the private sector and the financial institutions, we will be able to actually more than double and quadruple this number. So as at AMFU, one of the things that we do to ensure that this happens is to ensure that services are delivered professionally, and that we are not hearing stories that microfinance institutions are cheating people. And we do this through capacity building in different areas, performance monitoring, but also networking, which is the major reason for this conference. We are going to have quite a number of players. Everyone in this sector is going to be there. Different players, wholesale lenders, government, academic institutions, microfinance practitioners, people that are technical in this area. So we pray that you give it the attention that is due. Come and learn what is happening. The microfinance sector is dynamic, it is diverse, things are changing. Come and get to interact with the different players and get to know the new innovations that are happening. And all this is geared towards ensuring that we serve the customers better, because that is the bottom line.
Microfinance is not a small issue anymore. Microfinance is our market. This is the only way we can reach our people out there. And you can realize that without microfinance, nothing can happen in this country. Government has been very clear on spot to emphasize the fact that our people out there live on microfinance. The FinScope report has emphasized the fact that microfinance is an issue. 80% of our people are operating under the Tier 4 sector. The Tier 4 sector, maybe I can remind you here today, includes or takes care of SACCOs. It takes care of non-deposit microfinance institutions. It's responsible for all money lenders and self-help groups. And Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority has so far touched on all those in one way or the other. Without emphasizing too much, because there's limited time, I want to remind you that the self-help group guidelines are already in place. They are going to start working January 2023, and we look forward to seeing that all groups, saving groups out there are emphasizing the fact that we need to respect them. We need to follow those guidelines so that your monies are protected. We don't have, as a country, banks in all areas in this country. The footprint for the banking sector is limited. So we needed to quickly move in to protect the savings that are out there by emphasizing that there are guidelines. And that is the very reason why Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority does exist. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot emphasize the fact that what you don't inspect, people don't respect. We want Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, UMRA, to look at what is happening. If you get this money through the PDM, what are you doing with that money? And if you get that money, what is the impact on the market? So it is important that the regulator is in place. We are not there to fight anybody. We are only there to see what is happening such that everybody is okay. We are here to stabilize the economy. Our economy right now, whether we like it or not, Professor Balunywa has said it. It is the biggest, and the biggest is microfinance. That is what we have right now. If our people have spoken, government has responded. We only need a regulator to see, are you doing what we are expected to do? Is everything moving right? And so the regulator has reason to be there with you to see what is happening.
I am glad to be here. My name is Edton Babu from CARE International. CARE International, for the last 75 years, has globally worked to eliminate extreme hunger and poverty. And we all know this can only be eliminated when women and girls are uplifted. And so here in Uganda, since 1979, CARE has been working with this government to ensure that services reach the most vulnerable communities, especially women and girls. I am happy that as CARE International, we've had a footprint in this country, especially with regard to microfinance, and specifically with the lowest tier, the savings groups that are called VSLAs and others. And CARE is the grandmother of village savings and loan associations in this country. And so I am happy that through partnership with Ministry of Finance, we were able to work with UMRA to issue the saving group guidelines, so that the saving groups can also be brought into the realm where they are supported, where they are recognized. We have also worked with the Ministry of Finance to work on the savings group policy. The saving groups policy is very critical policy framework, because then, like my other colleagues have mentioned, there is a lot of money that currently is not very easily tracked, so many groups that are not being supported. And so CARE did a study, the landscaping, that discovered close to 1 million saving groups in this country. So this is a very important study, because then as we go to parish development model, we know whom we are working with. And CARE has now renewed support through our donor, our funder, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We are going to be supporting the parish development model, ensuring that we support transition of women from micro to small, from small to medium enterprise. Because saving without investment and business will not take women where they are supposed to be. And so we are committed to working with women, to working with this government, supporting, skilling women to make sure that their enterprises are working. and are growing from one level to the other.